Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the City of Parker. We have about 6 or 7 items on the agenda tonight. I will tell you before we get started, Mr. Haney has called and said he won't be coming this evening. He's sick tonight, and so we will proceed on without him. Would you do the invocation, Mr. Reagan? We talked about it. Everybody please stand.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, grant us your guidance as we make decisions in this meeting. Illuminate our minds with your wisdom so that our choices may align with your perfect will. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Supported by Mr. Chop.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Farrow? Here. Ms. Bodiford? Here. Mr. Chappell?
Here.
Mr. Haney is absent. Mayor Kelly?
Yes, here, ma'am. Thank you. So, this is the time in our meeting where we open the floor before we start the regular agenda to anybody that would like to come to the podium and state their name and address for the record and talk about whatever you'd like to talk about. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, can you hear me? Sorry, I'm short. Hello?
It's all right.
It's okay.
Is it on?
Is the
It's
light
not very loud, but go ahead. Is the light on?
I don't see a light on.
Okay.
Okay.
Batteries may have died.
I used to be a teacher, I can try to talk loud.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Okay, you're up.
Hello, my name is Angela Burgett, 735 West Street. I'm here first to say I've been here for about 3 years now, and I'm really enjoying the reopening of the Parker Sports Complex. I work from home 4 days a week, and being able to get out and take a walk between meetings and stuff is literally a godsend to me. I will say that like I said, I really enjoy it. I enjoy taking the walks. My issue right now is the dogs on the track. I don't mind dogs being on the track, but as long as they're leashed. I'm having an issue. I had a dog 2 times now. I've had 2 dogs come up to me. One came up to my rear end behind me. I had my headphones on, didn't even hear him. And another one that was off leash came up and scratched me on my side. And each time I've tried to talk to the people about it and say like, hey, we have an off-leash dog park that's literally right there. You can go there, it's huge, they can run around. It's literally for off-leash purposes. Now I did go take a look. There's no rules posted about not having a leash on your dog in that walk track area. But I do see signs about considering picking up your dog's stuff there, and you are considering voting about maybe not having dogs in that area. Like I said, I don't mind dogs being in the area. I just wish that people would leash them in that particular area so that we can feel free to walk the track without being attacked. I know your dog is good for you, but you don't know how it's going to react to other people around you. And having had dogs myself, it's just a concern, especially with kids in the park.
The dogs that came up on you and scratched you, were they on a leash?
No, they were not.
They were loose.
They were loose. 2 were golden doodles, and 1 was some sort of mixed larger dog breed. Like I said, the first one scared me because I was wearing headphones. I didn't even hear it run up behind me until the dog owner.
Well, the park is there for you to enjoy, not to walk dogs. That's what it boils
Well,
down
like
to.
I said, I don't mind people wanting to walk their dogs. I just wish you would do it on leashes so that the rest of us could also enjoy
Right.
watching the park.
Well, when they developed that park, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Sumlin, that was the reason we put the dog area out there, and it's divided into 2 sections. And I don't know why anybody would walk. I suspect it's because they want to walk their dog and walk themselves at the same time.
I would believe that too.
And unfortunately, that can't be at your peril. In other words, if they've got a leash and that dog still touches you or affects you, can I give it some thought? I'll ask Mr. Sloan what we need to do about getting the word out there. Maybe we could put it in the newsletter that it's not, not allowed to. What do you think, Council? Should we stop the walking the dogs on the walking track? I mean,
I just wish there was a sign like to say like there is an off-leash area right here where you can
there's a
please
walk
enjoy
for your dog. There's a
Right,
complete place for
to
it.
do just that, and this
Yeah.
would be an area where you would have to have a
Yeah.
leash for your dog. Like I said, I don't mind dogs walking that track at all. Most people are pretty good about moving out of the way, holding on to them. But I have had 2 incidents in the last 2 months. That's the only reason.
This is very interesting because the last meeting we had, or it might have been the meeting prior to that, someone spoke about the dogs making a mess in that park,
Well,
you
that's
know?
another one. If you look on the
People
Blue
not
Book,
picking
their
it up.
review is you have to pick up dog poop on the track before you even start to
So
wash
Mr.
it.
Summerlin, the public works guy, had some signs made, and we put them out around, and literally, somebody let their dog mess right on top of the signs, you know? So it doesn't really serve the
And the owners
purpose.
are not
You've got to
nice
get a
and
little more
tough.
aggressive with it, you know?
You know.
But I'm with you. I'm with you. My wife walks over there every day, and friends of hers walk with her, and they tell me every day what they see over there.
I mean, it's a beautiful place. Like I said, it's a godsend for me.
It looks great, doesn't it?
To get out for a few hours, you know, an hour, just at least get in the sun for a second. So,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, thank you so much for your
Well, yes,
time.
ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much. What do you think about that, Mr. Sloan? Are we?
Well, it's clearly a leashed area.
Yep.
Because everything outside of the individual's control or.
In the city, you
in the
can't be
city,
free.
you'd have
They
to
got to be
have-
leashed.
Have to have the animal on a leash. So
Yep.
signage certainly, maybe a newsletter announcement,
Yeah.
but at some point in time, if it continues, you would have to start pursuing
Doing
some
something, a
kind of
municipal
action. Yes,
citation or
sir.
something like that. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what we currently don't have and we don't use, and I haven't spoke to the chief or not, but hold on a sec, is a municipal citation system where people could be given a ticket that we currently don't do. We have the ability to do it, but it's something that we'll end up having to think about because it would be somebody would have to enforce it. And I must admit, although I don't have an opportunity to go over there and walk at that park, I notice over there when we go for tours around the city that it is not improved since we talked about it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a couple council meetings ago. It hasn't improved. And if you go over and look, I mean, we've invested so much time and money in these two parks. It's a shame that folks don't clean up their mess for sure. And it seems to me that if you've got your dog on a leash, you ought not have it so close to somebody that it would affect them, you know. So I feel like we could probably put it in the newsletter. When does it go out, Miss Bundy, next, the newsletter? Do you know? Mid-May, maybe, something like that. We could put it in there so that everybody knows again, and we could put it on the City of Parker webpage saying you got to keep your dog leashed. If we can't resolve this, then we'll have to go to the next level. It's like Mr. Sloan says, if you can't, if people can't control their animals, and the lady wants to walk in her park, then she gets to do that. That's how I feel about that. Anything, Council, you think on this subject?
You know, I go over there quite often, and every time I see people, they always have their dog on the leash,
Yeah,
with exception of when they're going to the dog park.
right.
A lot of times they don't have them on a leash going to the park, but they get them inside, and but as far as the walking path goes, people I've seen, you know, they do have them on a leash.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So, it's my understanding I've addressed this issue a few times with code, and our current ordinance or rule right now says that the dog only has to be under voice control. We don't have a leash law that says they have to be on a leash. So,
But I thought there was an outstanding leash law period that your animal had to be on a leash.
Standard for, class 7 for a dog has to be in control, you have to be in control of your dog. As long as the dog responds to your control, you don't have to leash. But they can pass an ordinance.
yeah, we can pass it on.
But even though they have to be under direct control, obviously they're not under direct control.
No.
If they're coming up and
Scratching and biting people.
scratching the citizens. So even if they attempted to use that as an exception, it wouldn't apply because obviously they don't have the dog under control.
Right, exactly.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Pat Fosick, 1344 Stratford. I did a chat GPT. It says, and I don't have the charter with me, but Chapter 10 of the Parker Code of Ordinances says dog owners are required to maintain continuous physical control of their dogs by means of a leash when in public areas. So maybe we should check, again, I know none of us have it memorized, but Chapter 10 of the Parker Code, and it also says that it's enforced sorry, Mr. Darling, by, code enforcement.
Does it?
Yeah.
Says code enforcement, huh?
It says violation, including fines or other enforcement actions, for specific details on enforcement or to report concerns, contact code enforcement.
Yeah, for a dog bite, chief, we have to go through law enforcement, don't we? If someone gets bit, it's not a code violation then?
No, I actually have a form to fill out.
That's right.
For that.
That's right. That's what I thought it was if you get bit. Ma'am, we will definitely look into this. I will definitely remedy this because you're not the first person. And it's becoming like weekly now someone says something about it. I feel like we put the dog walking park over there, and if they don't want to use it, then they won't be able to use the park. I mean, I don't know what else. Last week it was, Miss Barry, do you have anything you want to expand
Well,
on?
I'll say exact, because I was the one brought it up back a couple weeks ago or so about the one down there. I did not know all about this one here
Right.
with all the poop going on, but I still think they don't need to be in there when where they want. We got a dog park up there, and I don't believe that,
Which the lady just read it straight out of the ordinance,
I don't
and it's,
believe
if it's
it.
in there, it's in there.
I don't believe that, people should be out there trying to walk around and be somebody's dog, whether they're on a leash or off a leash, because you don't know what they're gonna do. And
Right.
especially if you got kids there. I've already been bit twice in my life.
I know you
bad.
have.
And
Ma'am,
I do not
The,
agree.
the dogs that came up to you, they were with somebody, but they were loose, basically, yeah. So someone took them off and they let them run, and then that's the problem. That's what I see over there too.
They like to run in the middle area because it's really wide and big.
Yeah, absolutely.
They run in there. The second time, the golden doodles, they were physically walking the track like in front of their owners.
You keep enjoying that park, and I will take care of this first thing in the morning. I will take care of it first thing. I don't know what I'll do. I have to call the National Guard, but we will take care of it in the morning. I promise you. I promise you. All right. Does anybody else have anything before we move on? Okay. Very good. The first item is approval of the minutes from the 15th of April. Should have it in your package.
I make a motion that we, approve them as presented.
Second.
Got a first and a second. Call a roll, please.
Okay, Ms. Barrow?
Yes.
Ms. Botiford?
Yes.
Mr. Chapel?
Yes.
And Mayor Kelly?
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Item 2 is the termination of the easement. This is the property on Arrow Street that Mr. Lumley had talked to us about a couple weeks ago. The attorney has located and searched and dug and did everything that they needed to do to find out what the status was of that pipe. And there's some controversy over what should have ever been there. We found different plats saying different things, but before you, counsel, you have a document where Mr. Sloan has drafted. If you would, sir, you want to enlighten us a little
Yes,
bit
sir.
to what you got?
The original easement actually there are two properties there, one at 720 and one at 724 Arrow Street. Were subject to an easement for construction and maintenance of pipeline from September 14 of 1971. And in there, it talked about that the grantors at the time, the Williams, were conveying an easement and the right to enter the property to construct, for the city to construct, maintain, and repair underground pipelines and mains for purposes of conveying water across, through, under, and it goes on. And I confirmed with Tony that the city has no such pipes under that property.
Right.
And has no plans for such pipes.
Right.
And so I drafted the notice to have the city just represent that it no longer carries that easement.
Right.
Now, having said that, Mayor, I will tell you that that Mr. Lumley did make some representations at the meeting where he spoke, that reference to his development orders, and I have confirmed with the engineer that with respect to 720 Arrow Street that Mr. Lumley still has one item to provide to the city for the city then to issue the development order. And with respect to 724 Arrow Street, he has multiple items that he either has to provide or respond to. So this is a separate issue. The easement issue is a separate issue from the development orders.
Yes, sir.
And so terminating this easement would have no effect on the two development orders, which are, the applications are still pending. And,
Yes, sir.
And the obligation to respond is with the applicant.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
We're going to have to vote on this, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I had reservations about it to begin with, but then once found out there was no pipes there, even though obviously they were wanting to do something but didn't.
It was there for a long
So,
time. It'd been
yeah.
dug up for a long time.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion that we go ahead and terminate the easement.
I'll second.
And a first and a second, you call a roll, please?
Ms. Barrow?
Yes.
Ms. Botiford?
Yes.
Mr. Chapel?
Yes.
And Mayor Kelly?
Yes. Thank you,
And
council.
the one in the packet, Mayor, has an April date on it. Originally, I thought it was coming in April, so I'll give you an updated one with May on it.
All right, sir.
You can sign it.
If I come down there, sign it tomorrow probably if it's available.
Whatever's convenient for you.
Just so you're aware, council, the two properties that Mr. Lumley's building over there, they fell short of some of the recommendations of direction, not recommendations of Arrow Engineering. So before he can move forward, he needs to address those. And now this has been taken care of. I'll speak with him tomorrow and make him aware that before he can proceed on, he needs to remedy that first finding with Anchor Engineering, and then I think there were 13 findings on the other house that he's talking about building. So I want him to build them. They're pretty houses, but they got to be compliant with the city's rules and regulations. Okay, planning board recommendations, item 3, the application for a variance. This is the, so I got the map here. I don't know if you guys got a map. How you doing? Good. This is your property in Cherry Lane?
No, this is 22A.
Oh, you're on 22A. Okay, yeah. I got about 4 or 5 different variances right here. What is it you're asking for, sir?
Ask for a variance to be able to, you know, get the zoning for a mobile home dealer at the site.
Okay, I got you.
We
So,
have
but it's not a dealer.
But it's not a dealer.
No.
It's only to fill our part.
Yeah.
So
So what you're asking for, if I understand it correctly, you would like to put new mobile homes in your trailer park, 750 South Highway 22A.
correct. Fill the vacant spots, and then as we have to remove the old ones.
Put new ones in. And then, if it's, my understanding is that you would allow, people would be allowed to own the mobile home, and they would pay you lot rent. Is that correct?
They're gonna, yeah, all homes would be
And in order to do that, you have to have a dealer's license.
correct.
Correct. But you're not going to sell mobile homes. All you're going to do is provide a place for a person who owns a mobile home to put it in your mobile home park.
Well, that's where the dealer's license comes in. So we'll put 2 homes in at a time.
Yeah.
To sell, but we won't. It's not gonna be a normal dealership to the public.
No, you won't sell them. They'll buy them from a bank.
Correct.
They'll finance through a bank. It's not, in other words, they won't be able to just arbitrarily drag a mobile home in there and set it up. They'll have to go through the process of buying the mobile home.
Already there.
It's what?
One that's already there.
Yeah. Well, they're going to have them there for sale, basically. Or my understanding is people can also go to a mobile home purchasing, what do you call it, mobile home park, and buy a mobile home and bring it to you and then park it on a lot there, right?
They do that as well.
Yes. And how many vacant lots do you have?
22.
And how many are you, moving forward, I see you paved it, it's looking really good. How many do you think you're going to get out of there before it's all over with?
We're not changing the zoning, so
It'll be the same amount, the occupancy will be the same.
42.
Yeah. My only fear is, not that it's going to change my decision, is that people would buy a new $100,000 mobile home and put it beside some of the ones that's been in there since 1962, you know? So
It's gonna be tough to get.
it's
those
going to be
done,
tough. It's going to be a
but
tough
as
one.
as we are able to, we'll
Yeah.
start filling those in.
Yeah. Yeah. So what he's asking for, council, my understanding is, I've talked to the people from the planning council, and he's not asking. It's misrepresented in how it's worded. He's not asking for a dealer's license to be a mobile home dealer, but he has to have a dealer's license in order to be able to have mobile homes put in his mobile home park, so they can buy them from the bank and then pay him lot rent. That's more or less what it is, right?
Correct.
Okay. So that might make it easier for you to understand it. I didn't understand it until it was all explained to me. But do you have any questions, council, that you'd like to ask?
Mayor, I would just point out that what the council will be doing is interpreting the language in the prohibited uses section of the mixed use, where it says mobile home / manufactured home sales, service, or storage. That would be interpreted to be a dealer actually selling to the public, as opposed to this particular situation, this isolated set of facts, where he is selling only to owner occupants within the park.
Correct. Would the title ever go through your hands, or it would just go from the dealership to the bank to them, to the owner, right?
Correct. It won't be in our hands.
Right. That's what I thought. So this is just a technicality to make it legal for you to be able to do it.
To get our license anyway, we need a site.
Yeah. Yeah. I can only make the place look better.
Do you want to go through the formal variance process, Mayor, or how do you want to?
I don't know, council, what do you think?
Well, I think we all just go ahead and allow them to do it.
Are we gonna have public comment?
Do you have anything, man? You have the floor before we go to public
I said I
comment.
think that we ought to go ahead and let them do it.
So
Okay.
if you interpret it to be the way that I just explained it, where it's not a dealership itself, then it would not be a prohibited use requiring a variance. And
Right.
you could simply make a motion to allow him to
Okay.
proceed.
Ma'am, you have the floor?
Pat Posick, 1344 Stratford. I guess I'm confused, Mr. Sloan and Mayor Kelly. As I understand it, you're gonna be putting two at a time, brand new mobile homes on various lots within the mobile home park.
Correct.
And someone is going to contact you to buy those.
Or our property manager does.
Okay, so he is selling. He's selling a mobile home. He may not have a sign that says mobile homes for sale like they do over on Highway 98, but he's selling a mobile home. I understand he's trying to improve it, and I agree with that.
Well, the bank is selling it, ma'am, not him.
Well, is it the bank who owns them? Does a dealer own them? Where are you getting them from? You're getting them from a dealer to store on your property until they're sold?
Manufacturer, and the lender is paying for the home to be moved onto the site. So the lender will basically be the owner of the home until they finance an actual end buyer.
And who is the lender? The manufacturer?
Well, now we're using Century 21.
Okay. So Century 21 is basically selling a house.
Mobile home.
He's not per se selling them, he is providing the site for them.
That's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that he's going to have to me, it's sort of like a car dealership.
But he will not have a hand
Ownership,
in the title.
right.
Yeah.
The title will never touch his hand, so he is not considered a dealer.
Okay, so let me ask you a question then. If I'm a Ford dealership and I have pickups on my lot, they probably belong to Ford Motor Company.
They probably would, yeah.
Until Pat Fosick comes in and buys a pickup.
Probably so.
So these mobile homes belong to Century 21 and or the manufacturer, I don't know, until somebody comes in and buys them. So he is selling in an MU1 and selling is restricted. So I think that does require a variance, number one. Number two, and I didn't have a chance to do the research, but I seem to recall we have a new comprehensive plan dated May of 2019, which was after Michael. We have new LDRs dated November of 22, which was after Michael. And I recall, I haven't been able to find it, so please correct me, I'm probably wrong, but I recall that the decision was we were not gonna have any more mobile homes in Parker. And that those that were destroyed had 6 months after Michael to put a mobile home in. I know there's one right over here on Business 98 next to the Korean restaurant, whatever there, where I think she had 6 or 7, and there's 3 left. Is she gonna be allowed to put more mobile homes there? Because maybe I'm mistaken, because I can't find it, and it's probably in a resolution somewhere, Mr. Sloan. You may recall, I'm not putting you on the spot, but I haven't been able to find it in the fine print of the LDR, the comprehensive plan, but I do ask about the fact that, is Parker now allowing mobile homes again?
No.
Oh, okay,
But
so
what we
I
are
can't-
gonna allow is for everybody an opportunity to own one if they can and put it on his lot. Because if he doesn't rent the lot spaces, he's may be out of business.
But he knew that when he bought the property in January of '22, did he not? The regulations were in place then where we would have no more mobile home parks. So, you're saying that he's gonna be allowed to put 2 mobile homes there at a time, a total of 22. If I wanted to put a new mobile home on my lot on Lance, can I do that?
Well, I thought in the LDR it says mobile home parks on Highway 22A.
Mhm.
In 98.
That's correct.
Are exempt from that.
Are exempt from what? Having mobile homes?
Yeah, they
But
could
he's
put
still
new
selling,
ones in.
So he still needs a
They're,
variance.
they're allowed to put new ones in.
Okay, so if I own property on
Mr.
The
20
no
Okay.
mobile homes, I think, was a long discussion council had relative to no mobile homes going back into a residential land use category. When you all, had that discussion, that it was based upon the fact that people wanted to move a mobile home into a residential
Residential
land
neighborhood,
use
like happened
where
at
there
Donaldson
had
Point.
been a house before.
Correct.
And the city took the position, the council did at the time,
Yep.
that no, the city council was not going to allow those
That's what it
mobile
was, Ms.
homes to
Fasek.
go in to replace a stick-built
Stick.
house that had been there.
Yeah.
Okay, so the further question, I know there's a mobile home, forgive me, I don't know what the street is, I think it's the dead end part of Arrow. There's a nice mobile home, double wide, they put it up there after Michael,
Yeah.
was destroyed.
Yeah.
If they wanna buy another one, can they? And put it on that lot? There wasn't a house there, to my knowledge.
Well, there was a house there, but they were able to get that in before we passed the law.
No, there was a mobile home there that was destroyed. by
Was
Michael.
there?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Okay, well, that's my question. I have property
was
with
a
a mobile
house.
home on it. And I was under the understanding that I could not replace that unless I put up a stick-built.
Now, if I'm not
You put a
mistaken, she could
modular
take that
home.
out. You could take that mobile home out. You got
modular.
180 days, put a new one back in. That's what we agreed on,
You could
wasn't it?
replace an
Yeah, you can
existing
replace it.
mobile home.
Yeah.
Even 6 months after Michael, even though new regulations have gone into place.
That's what we
I would have
said.
to research a little further, but I think that
But
is the case.
If you want to go buy a mobile home and swap that one out, by all means do it.
Okay, great.
I mean, but I'm told that there you could buy a house for as much as a mobile home today.
Exactly.
But yeah, if you, I mean, I don't have a problem with her doing that, council. I mean, my understanding is exactly what Mr. Sloan said. If the storm destroyed your house, you couldn't bring a mobile home in.
Gotcha.
And I'll give you an example of that.
There's one in Donaldson.
Stacy Galbraith's next door neighbor.
Yes.
They snuck that in there before we passed the rule. I don't say they snuck it in there. They thought it was the right thing to do. I think it takes away from the neighborhood.
And
And it was, I mean,
it's a
based upon the-
modular home, it's not a mobile home.
based upon the devastation, I mean, we understand what they did. You know, they did that.
They did it.
so they'd
We didn't
place
have a
to rent.
rule,
That's
and we have a rule now. But if you have a mobile home on, where do you have one?
Lance.
On Lance, and you want to haul it out of there and put a new one in, I don't think there's a problem with that, do they?
Same size.
Yeah, it has to be
Has to meet the
essentially
same-
the
yeah.
same size and configuration.
Right, the footprint's got to be
You
the same.
can't put a
gotta
triple
match
wide
the
in
footprint.
place of a single wide.
Right.
Okay.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Chuck Hodgson, 5405 Fleming Street. The only reason that he would need a dealer's license is to keep from having to pay a sales tax when he purchases them, and he's able to purchase them from a dealership. And that way, when you have your license, you don't have to pay tax, and then he'll turn around and sell it, and tax will get paid again, and save the people from having to be taxed.
I don't think that's even the case. The banks, he's never going to own them.
Do it unless you were doing
He's never going to own them. He's never going to touch deed and title.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not favoring going to a dealership to buy the home.
The only thing I think y'all need to make sure is that telling him he can have a mobile home dealership, make sure it just doesn't turn into a mobile home dealer.
ain't that the
You follow
truth?
what I'm saying?
Yes, I completely understand. Completely understand.
If we have an
Okay.
office, it will never be occupied.
Mr. Rager, can you shed some light on this for me, please, so everybody understands? Because
Absolutely.
I'm not getting it clear.
Well, actually, you were absolutely correct. The prohibition only went into low-density residential areas, and that restriction was placed 6 months. So it wouldn't necessarily just be after a storm. Anybody who owns that property, whether they had a stick-built house or any other home, if there was a mobile home already there, they would have up to 6 months in order to put another mobile home of the same size. It also, we put new regulations on it though. It has to be wind mitigation number 2.
Correct.
Because this is a wind mitigation number 2 area. The other restriction on it is that it had to be of the same footprint. It couldn't be, as Mr. Sloan had identified, it couldn't be a triple wide where there was a double wide.
Right.
But it's section 5 that the council clearly identified that in this gentleman's area, MU1, MU2, we specifically identified that we wanted those areas reserved for mobile home parks. And the reason that planning granted his wish to come to council for your review is because we recognized he was not traditionally setting up a dealership as a traditional dealership would be considered, where he'd be selling, there'd be semi-tractor trailers pulling him in and out. That's not what he's doing. He owns the property's identified. He annually comes in and with Ingrid assigns a business license. If he violates any of the provisions of that business license, it could be removed. So he has, this gentleman also is serious about his brand. I don't know if you've driven through his mobile home park, but all of the restrictions, all of the improvements that the council had put forward for mobile home parks has been applied in his area. Remember, we wanted asphalt streets at least 16 feet wide.
Yep.
We wanted green belt areas, at least 1,000 square feet for every 7 mobile homes put in.
Yep.
He
Yep.
assured us that has occurred. He also has to put up barriers where those green belt areas don't exist. And he also has to have a certain amount of area for, play area, recreational area.
Yep.
Every one of those things has been applied. And indeed, along 22A, that is,
The green belt, we need clarity on that.
you have 2 different options there. You can either put the green belt area in, or you can put a division between those areas. But in any case, you always have to go ahead and, like, for example, a fence, or something that somebody can't see, across.
Is that just the perimeter of the park, or is that between each home, or just?
It'd be a green belt area for every 7 mobile homes. Let's say, for example, you've got them tighter together. Now, they all have to be in 5,000 square feet as well. That was part of the new provision. So you have to have 5,000 square feet, but you've got that area. You've got over 7 acres there. Right?
Yeah, you got plenty of room.
7.3 or 4.5. So in MU1, you could have up to 50 dwellings in those areas. He's well under that amount. So
It's not the green belt, I think it's the fencing.
Okay.
well, there's a green belt area for every 7 mobile homes they have in here. You have to have 1,000 square feet of like green belt area.
You have it. You have more than enough.
We've driven through there. You have that.
So I'm good, I'm complied.
So, yes, and so the areas.
We could plant crops on your property and still have space.
And because, as Mr. Sloan had identified, he's not actually gonna be a dealership in the traditional sense. He's only wanting to put the 20 or 22 mobile homes back in there brand new with wind mitigation number 2 and all of the new applications. They all have to be medallioned now for the structure, to be in a hurricane area.
And as time goes by, he's going to take out the old ones and put new ones there too. So eventually, they'll all be relatively new.
And what Ms. Bosick was talking about is absolutely right, but she was talking about low density residential.
Right, right.
So that's where the confusion is.
Are the vacant lots due to Hurricane Michael?
No,
Not all of them.
And the reason I only ask is like you saying you gotta follow the same footprint, well, who's keeping up with those 22 lots now that don't have anything on there, that he's not putting in a double wide instead of a single?
Not in his area, he's in MU1, the same footprint.
Sure, that's why I'm just throwing it out there.
All right, thank you. Okay, council, any discussion before we move forward?
I make a motion, go ahead and let him do it.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Yep.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Miss Barrow,
Yes.
Miss Boderford,
Yes.
Mr. Chapel,
Yes.
and Mayor Kelly.
Yes. Thank you. Make a pretty mobile home park. Thank you.
Now, does he a letter, or how is that?
Well, you know the answer. We just gave it to you. It'll be in the minutes that Miss Bundy's going to type up the next couple of weeks. And I don't think that there's a necessary for a letter. It's going to say that we discussed it, and all of the comments will be in there, and the outcome and the vote of the council.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, planning board recommendation application for a parcel split on Cherry Lane. That's what I got confused with. There we go. The Cherry Lane person. Hey, how are you?
Cherry Lane person.
Hey, I'm Zach Sanchez, 1801 Corporal Street, City, Florida. The owner can't be here tonight, so I just said I'd be here if you have questions. But Mark's pretty familiar with it, so I think.
Did he give you something in writing to speak on his behalf?
I wasn't aware I had one. but-
This is pretty serious stuff right here,
Yeah,
man.
Y'all can do your thing, so I'll step back. I don't.
We'll table it till he can be here.
Okay.
All right, because I really, we need to hear what he's got to say. Don't disagree with what he's asking for. If you look at the aerial survey map, all the others are done except for your block.
Yeah, no problem at all.
But he needs to come and represent and be here for questions that the people in the audience might ask or that we might need to know.
Yeah.
Mr. Reagan?
Mr. Sanchez he's half owner of Think Realty. And full disclosure, I used to work for him for some time, but he's a full broker. He has a fiduciary responsibility and understanding of this property. So he may be able to answer some of your questions if you wanted to go down that path.
Okay. Mr. Sloan, you think we
Well,
should have the owner?
It'd probably be better to have the owner here.
I agree. So it'll be on the docket for the next 14 days. All right, sir. Thank you. All right. This is item 5 is the consideration for a resolution. This particular resolution would allow the city to allow Mr. Sloan to be able to purchase health insurance on the city's current policy that we have for the employees. No one's asking, if you haven't read the package that came with it, no one's asking anybody to pay for Mr. Sloan. We're just, because of a life's change that he has had, we contacted the insurance company and we found out that it is completely compliant. He would be completely compliant with being able to purchase, he would purchase a premium, a policy, the same as our employees have. There's other people allowed to do this also. There's some guidelines. We had our bookkeeper contact the bookkeeper from the insurance company, and in your package you'll see the authorization from the bookkeeper from the insurance company that he meets and exceeds the requirements to be able to purchase this. This is to be no expense to the citizens of Parker, no expense to the employees of the city of Parker. Any discussion?
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, Mr. Chapel, everything?
Well, I make a motion that we allow them to do it.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
We just asked.
Wait a
Well,
minute.
didn't you already make a motion?
We already have a motion on the floor. If you would, you can stand by one, stand by. We'll take the vote, then you can comment. We have a first and a second
To read.
to read. Yeah, okay, we have to have a vote first before we can read it, right?
Yes, sir, but now you can take comment during
Okay,
the discussion
all right.
time.
Motion's been made to read. Go ahead, ma'am, you have the floor.
Oh, so do you need to second and then read?
Well, you told me we're good to go, so we're gonna go.
There's been a motion and a second. There's further discussion if the mayor wants to allow it.
Yeah,
then
I'll
you can
allow
do
it. I want you to hear what you gotta say.
The agenda item said something about medical insurance. Is it medical? Is it life? Is it dental, vision? Is it
Medical.
all of the above?
Medical.
Okay, and it's available to both Mr. Sloan and his dependents, presumably spouse.
Correct.
Okay.
That is
which
correct.
fine. I understand that. I guess I have a concern with regard to the fact that, yes, he's paying the premium, but has there been a mechanism put in place yet to make sure that the billing occurs and that it's properly accounted for?
Well, that would be premature because we had to vote on it first and we're not able to speak to each other before now.
Well, and I guess that's another thing, we already have a resolution drafted and ready to sign.
I asked him to do that.
And it hasn't even been discussed before the city council, or
Right.
before the public.
That's
So
right.
It came as quite a surprise to those of us that, pay attention to what's going on.
Right?
So I just have a question that, according to the resolution, it's effective immediately.
Sure.
So he gets to buy insurance, no disrespect, Mr. Sloan, please, but he gets to buy insurance, it could be anybody in this room, gets to buy insurance tomorrow, and we don't even have a mechanism yet to make sure that we do indeed get the reimbursement.
There'll be no
Reason-
reimbursement.
There is no reimbursement. He's paying out of pocket.
He'll pay out of
But
pocket.
he's gotta pay the city.
No,
correct?
no.
He's
He's gonna
paying
pay the
the
insurance
insurance
company direct.
Okay.
It's got nothing to do with the city. We have done our research. I've been looking at this for 2 months, and I've had bookkeeping look at it, and I've had everybody review it and contact the insurance company. We're completely compliant with everything that's required for him to pay for insurance through this company, and he's allowed to use our policy because he meets the requirements for that. That's it. It doesn't cost you nothing, Pat, me nothing, nobody in this room nothing. It's just that he will get a bill and he'll pay that bill, and the policy will be in his name. And if he doesn't pay the bill, the policy will be dropped. It won't affect us.
Thank you.
Does that help?
It does, but it still raises questions. And again, no disrespect. Any claims that he or his spouse his dependent may incur, that will impact the loss history of the policy. The policy could go up, which means we have to pay more for the employee's insurance in subsequent years. That's the way group policy works. I have Medicare, I have to buy an Advantage plan, I'm on my own dole like most people, but thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, council. Do we have to have a resolution? We can just vote on this.
Well, Mayor, the reason that if you recall, you had asked for the resolution is so that it just didn't happen and then somebody find out one day and they
Yes,
wonder why
yes.
all of a sudden the city is providing this.
Well,
This
we are
is a
not-
mechanism so
Okay.
the whole public, everybody would
Can
know
see it.
what
Yes,
you're
sir.
doing.
Okay,
So
sir.
you have a motion and a second to read
The resolution.
So the resolution, you'll need a vote at
Yep.
this point.
Well, I do wanna say that, for anyone's information, I spoke to Mr. Sloan about all of it, so I was very aware of it.
Miss Barrow.
Yes.
Miss Waterford.
Yes.
Mr. Chapel.
Yes.
And Mayor Kelly.
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-408, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Parker, Florida, offering participation in the city group insurance plans, providing for conflict, severability, and effective date. So you need a motion to adopt. Mayor.
Yep, we need a motion to adopt, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Yeah.
Call a roll, please.
Miss Barrow.
Yes.
Miss Waterford.
Yes.
Mr. Chapel.
Yes.
And Mayor Kelly.
Yes, thank you. What do we, that's as far as we need to go with the legalities of being able to put you on?
And then I'll work with the insurance company
Yes.
on how the billing will work.
Okay. All right,
Because I
so,
probably won't get on it for some period of time.
okay. If you're interested, I don't know if you are, but that's the package and the contact information.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That you need. Okay, the item 6 is consideration of a resolution. Mr. Summerlin, you're probably gonna read this, right? For the CBDG grant. It's supposed to be Anchor, but obviously, is there anybody from Anchor?
Mr. Summerlin is pointing at me. We were advised that there needed to be an updated resolution on CDBG because the last resolution had the last mayor, the last pro tem, the last clerk, and Ms. Moore at a different engineering company. So this resolution is to update all of that with the current officials, the mayor pro tem, and the city clerk, as well as updating the engineer of record, Ms. Moore, at her current engineering company. And this, along with a policy which Mr. Summerlin and I have been discussing and going back and forth, and it's rather lengthy. These will be part of the CDBG package. My understanding is that Anchor Engineering will be having public comment to them in the upcoming near future, and at some point in time, it'll presumably come to the city council for ultimate approval of any CDBG grants that you would apply for and be awarded. So this is just one step in the process to update the individuals that would be involved in the CDBG process. And so you'd need a motion to read, Mayor, and then a motion to adopt.
So we need a motion to read, council.
I make a motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Yes.
We have a first and a second. You call a roll?
Ms. Barrow?
Yes.
Ms. Waterford?
Yes.
Mr. Chapel?
Yes.
Mayor Kelly?
Yes.
Resolution number 2025-409, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Parker, Florida to apply for small cities community development block grant from the state of Florida Department of Commerce, repealing all resolution in conflict herewith, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
I make
Yes.
a motion to adopt.
Got a motion? Do we have a sec? Yeah. We have a motion and a second. You call a roll, please?
Ms. Barrow?
Yes.
Ms. Waterford?
Yes.
Mr. Chapel?
Yes.
And Mayor Kelly?
Yes, thank you, ma'am. I have nothing else on my agenda, so with that, Mr. Chappell, do you have anything you'd like to talk about?
Excuse me, I was supposed to be on for a parcel combination tonight. Paget Construction, Ronald Scott Paget, Kevin Boyd told me to be here tonight.
I don't.
I gave them a survey and turned in the paperwork, actually almost a month ago. I think I came in on the first Wednesday of last month and they told me I missed the meeting by a day.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, man. It's not here. It wasn't, if it was turned in, we didn't get it.
Mayor.
Do you?
Because
You're
Kevin
on-
Boyd sent me 2 emails about it. I even questioned him about it at the beginning of the week.
Mr. Paget, you are on planning committee next Tuesday, the 13th.
They told me I had to be here tonight to get it approved, then to go to committee.
No, sir. I
Planning
apologize.
committee first. Sorry about that. Must have been some
Planning is
confusion.
first.
Once the
Yeah,
planners
I
are,
got the emails from Mr. Boyd, but.
okay. Sorry, man.
So now
It goes
I-
to the planning council, then after that it comes to the city council. But, where is this at? What is it you're trying to?
This is at, it's considered 308 and 310 Blackshear Road, right over by Tyndall Air Force Base. I was supposed to have 2 parcels there. When I bought them, they were addressed back in the 80s, but I was told after the new CRA that they had to be 7,500 square feet. Well, they're only
Each.
7,000.
Okay,
I
so you're
was
asking
told
for
I
a
could-
variance.
Well, I was asking to combine them, because once I got a survey back, the original thing shows that I've got 2 lots that are 100 by 70.
So basically you want a
But now
7,
they're only 75, well, now the beginning of the property is only 75 foot wide, so I couldn't get a variance to separate it anyway. So I
Okay.
can combine it so I can put up.
make one big lot.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put a nice, beautiful 1,600 square foot home with a double garage on it.
Nice.
and
Nice.
That kind of stuff.
And you gave that to the planner?
He's got a copy of the survey and one piece of paper. I
Yeah,
had to fill
so
out.
she's telling me they've got it and it's in the works and it's gotta go to the planning council. I'm sorry whoever told you the opposite, but the council doesn't see it until after the planning council has reviewed it. And we look for their blessing. I don't think you'll have a problem. Just keep pressing on like
Now,
you
it's
are.
just another few weeks I can't do that.
Sorry, man.
When is the next planning?
Next Tuesday.
Next week.
5 o'clock next Tuesday. Be there, be here at 5 o'clock next Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
And they'll have a copy of this from Kevin.
Boyd.
Yeah, he's supposed to provide them all their documentation so that they know what they're talking about. Then they can tell us what their recommendation is. That doesn't mean we'll accept it. It just means that we'll accept their recommendation.
Yes, sir.
So, bear with us. We'll get you squared away.
Thank you very much.
All right, sir. So, go ahead, Mr. Chappell.
Okay, the first thing is our garage sale that we had for Saturday got rained out. So the 1st of June, on the 7th, the first Saturday in June, we're going to try to have another yard sale, a community yard sale. And you need to come to the water department here and let them know that you want a spot. I had nobody, except for the mayor and myself, wanted a spot, but like I said, it got rained out. So if anybody wants to have a yard sale, it'll be from 8 o'clock until, there's no charge for the use of the building. You have to bring your own tables and set up like that. So that'll be the 7th of June. The other thing I got to discuss is the
You hear that?
The cat?
That's a kid
Oh, kid.
screaming.
Probably cold out there playing.
What day
That's
is
not really
that?
terrifying.
What day?
7th.
June
It's the
the
first
7th?
weekend in June. And the next thing is, on Labor Day, we're gonna try to have a, Parker, the City of Parker, Fun Day. It's, in September, the first, it's Labor Day. We plan on having a pig roast that time, and, there'll also be a covered dish. So, if anybody's interested in September, I know it's a long ways off, but, that's gonna be a long weekend, so a lot of people travel during that time too. So, but the,
Where would you serve the food, Mr. Chappell?
what's that?
Where would we serve the food?
4 o'clock.
No, where? Where would we do it?
Oh, at the pavilion.
Outdoors in
Yeah.
okay.
I'm gonna try to have a band there. We're gonna have games there. So, it's just gonna be try to have a fun day for Parker.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody wants to join in, or welcome to it.
Miss Barrow, you have anything?
No.
Kate? No? I got a couple things. One, thank you everybody who came to the swearing-in ceremony last Tuesday, and all of you that came next door and enjoyed refreshments with us. That was really, really nice. And I've had, me personally, I can't speak for everybody, but I've had a lot of great comments from folks. The one piece of business that I need to take care of tonight is I would like council to have Miss Barrow remain as pro tem. She has the knowledge, she has the experience, and she's nearby. I would like you guys to allow that to continue. Obviously, you can't make it first, Miss Barrow, because it's concerning you, but I'm going to need a first. And
I'll make a motion that we,
we have,
this.
You want it now?
yeah,
Sure.
we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Seconded.
Okay, I think she can vote. Would you call the roll, please?
Ms. Barrow,
Yes.
Ms. Boderford,
Yes.
Mr. Chappell,
Yes.
and Mayor Kelly.
Yes.
I was waiting for her to say no.
Very important. Very important, because sometimes things happen and you can't always be here, you know. Second thing that I have is a couple weeks ago, folks in the audience mentioned that we hadn't filled the seats on the advisory board, and in that period of time, a couple of folks have come forward, and you should see their copy of their applications in your folder there.
This is for the half-cent sales tax?
Yeah, this is
yeah.
the infrastructure.
Infrastructure Committee. And both people have filled out their package. And you should see that in there if you just take a minute to review it. And we need to vote on them.
Do we need to do it individually, or can we do it both at the same time?
I think we should do them individually, just push it
Because
through.
they're gonna be filling the
Different seats?
different seats.
Yeah.
Okay, I make a motion that we put Sylvia Marie Dean on there.
Okay. Do we have a
Second?
okay? We have a second. Would you call a roll, please, for Dean?
Ms. Barrow,
Yes.
Ms. Boderford,
Yes.
Mr. Chappell,
Yes.
and Mayor Kelly.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes. And then the next one is George Suggs.
I make a motion we put George Suggs on there.
Okay.
Second?
We have a first and a second. Will you call a roll, please?
Ms. Barrow,
Yes.
Ms. Boderford,
Yes.
Mr. Chappell,
Yes.
Mayor Kelly.
Yes. And I would tell you, council, that citizens, if you would like to participate in some of these things, when they come available, you can go to the front office and they'll give you the package to fill out. And I don't know how many people picked one up, but the only two that got turned in. So I'd like to welcome these people to Parker, and hopefully that this is something they can help Anne Marie with. Mr. Sloan, do you have anything, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you,
Ma-
council.
Mayor, I have one other thing.
You've had your chance.
No, you had time.
I just wanted, last night I went and came by here, Parker, at dark. And the walking parks are all lit up. And it really looks nice. So when it gets dark, if you want to travel around and see the walking parks, the lights are working. And that just happened this week, right?
Yeah, they had wired them up, now the power's all turned on.
Yeah.
Don't touch the wires.
It looks good.
Yep. We've got it fixed so if the dogs poop on the light.
You'll-
Okay,